Hi! Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. But we're back. Hello, and today I am going to be reflecting on the year 2023. It's only, I think, the 22nd of November, but I am so over 2023, like I am done. So I am planning on wrapping it up just with the hopes of mentally moving on. And yeah, but honestly, so much could happen within a month, and so much change could happen. Like anything could literally happen. So don't be like me. Stay in the year. Do not check out. And yeah, like so much could happen in the remaining weeks that are left in the year, and literally your world could like turn in a different direction, and you know, just gotta believe it. So in the past video that I did for 2022 about, I think I titled it I Changed My Mind or something like that, I basically wrote down a list of lessons that I had learned in the past year. It was a weird year all by itself. I completed my BSc level 100, and then I proceeded to take a gap 6 months, which I like to call my gap year. And it's something that I never really talked about, but I did take a break away from academia, and it was a weird time in my life because I had never not been a student. Like my whole life had been centered around school, and I didn't know a life outside of academia. So taking a break from academia just allowed me to reevaluate it within myself and just let myself be okay with the fact that before everything else, I am more than just a student. I am more than just a scholar. I am more than just, you know, all of that. Like I do have a personality outside of that. I have a life, you know what I mean? And at the expense of nah, English is not gonna work there, so I'm gonna leave it there. So I think I'm gonna do a similar thing. I tried thinking a lot about this video, but then I just proceeded to think that, you know, like it doesn't matter, like it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just for me, and for me to look back over the years just to see how much I've grown and how much I have learned. So yeah, so it is the beginning of 2023. I pack my life basically in a suitcase and I move to a different city where I don't know anybody, where I am going to start school at a different uni, and I am a thin line between excited and nervous, you know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, fine. My thinking at that moment was like, I have changed schools a lot in my entire life, you know, it's nothing I can't handle. But this is a whole different city in a whole different country. Do you know what I mean? So like it was like, okay. But then again, I just knew that I could handle it, but I had a twinge of doubt because I was a bit far from home. So my lesson from all of that, you know, a lot of things proceeded to happen with that, but one thing that I learned was that I have to give myself permission to be brave. You know what I mean? No one's gonna give you permission to be brave. You gotta give it within yourself. You gotta give yourself the permission to be brave. You gotta allow yourself to step into that character of bravery, because I feel like as human beings, we're capable of so much, but sometimes we just kind of like shy away and we're like, oh, I don't think I can, but you really can. You know what I mean? Like you can. Right, so I think that's one thing that I learned just looking back. You know, there was a lot to handle with. There was being far away from home, like I mentioned. There was culture differences. There was immigration issues. There was just the whole spill of being an international student. It was mad. It was really mad. I remember there was a bit of a glitch regarding my study permit. So where I received an email when I was in class that my application had been reverted. My application had been reverted. When I tell you, I felt dizzy. Like I had to go outside. I had like, it was like what's going on? Yeah, inside, of course, not outside. And outside, I would have like a stoic face, but on the inside, babe, I was freaking out. So yeah, give yourself permission to be brave. You are capable of so many things, provided you step into that thing. Because I feel like people get it wrong. Bravery isn't not being scared. It's actually just doing things when you are scared. Like I was scared. Like I did not know what to expect. Like I am that person, right? When we step into a new year, I have goals, I have a vision, like I have it all figured out. Like I've always been that way since I was like a baby. You know what I mean? And this year, I remember it was like the 8th of January, the year had begun, and I did not have goals and visions. Like I was like, I don't know what to expect. You know, I don't know what I'm planning around. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that drives me a bit nuts when I don't know. So yeah, give yourself permission to be brave. And the second lesson that I have is, or what that I've learned is that eventually you will figure it out, all of it. And I think I said this one last year, but like eventually you're gonna figure all of it out, you know. So when I got there, you know, there had to be like, I'm a routine kind of girl. I like routine. So I had to like find a way to like structure my life in such a way that I have a routine and I'm doing things in a way that is gonna work. You know, your studying, your social life, your finances and all of that. So at the beginning, I was a bit all over the place, I won't lie. It was a bit scary. It was a bit scary, but towards the end, we just found a rhythm that works for all of us, you know, like the financial part, the social part, you know, how I'm going to be doing things. It just all came together. And one thing that you gotta do is, or that I've learned, is that you have to be patient with yourself. You know, you're not gonna get it all right at the first go. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. No matter how much you want, you're gonna fail. You're gonna try new things. You might fail at them too. You're gonna try again, maybe fail again, and eventually you will figure it out. You will find your thing. Because I think that's just what life is anyway. And I'm only 19. I'm not allowed to be speaking about life because I haven't lived much. But I think living is just finding what works for you. Is doing things in a way that is for you, you know what I mean? And just tunnel vision. And I like something that, if you don't know me, you know that. If you don't know me, well, if you know me, you know that. Like, one of my favorite rappers is like Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, King. And he said that I ain't worried about, there ain't no competition because I ain't worried about nobody else, you know what I mean? I'm just focused on me and mine, you know what I mean? So when you develop that kind of mindset in your life, like, I'm just gonna do things for me, about me and mine, you know what I mean? Like, like, it makes it easier, it makes it faster to reach that point. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, you will figure it out for you, what works for you, focusing on you and yours. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The third one is gratitude all the way. Gratitude. Man, I can't say this enough. And when I tell you, being thankful has helped me enter rooms that I did not know I could be in. It was crazy. Developing the habit of gratitude is so important. Like, it opens doors for you. It helps you be happier. It helps you be healthier, and it's so important to be grateful for everything and all the time. So semester 1 was a bit hectic for me because I was still getting into the rhythm of what's going on, right? What's happening? What's this? You know, you're trying to figure out everything. But semester 2, I got into the habit of, you know, doing gratitude here and there, you know, praying. You know, for me, my gratitude is to God, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I would do. Oh my god. My goodness, this table. Oh my god, my dad's gonna kill me. This table is a bit shaky. That's weird. But anyway, it's like I would do a gratitude every day. You know, like I would write down to God like what I'm thankful for every morning. And if I didn't, then I would, for some reason, there was very few cases where I was busy and would skip that in the morning. Very few, honestly. I had a journal. I wish I had it with me. It's probably in my room. But I had a journal where I would write down every single morning, like, thank you, God, for my family. Thank you, God, that I'm in good health. Thank you, God, that I get to study a program of my choice. Thank you, God, that I have friends that love me. Thank you, God, that I have food, I have water, and I'm alive, and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? I was just thankful all the way. So when your mindset is shifted from like, oh my gosh, this is going wrong, to oh my gosh, I'm so thankful, like it's different. You're not totally ignoring the fact that there's certain things that are happening that like you do not like, but it's like, I'm not gonna give too much attention to that, because you know it doesn't help, it doesn't do anything to you. But just focusing on being grateful, man, it does everything. It does everything. So yeah, gratitude all the way. And yeah, it can help. Like you could do it like with your friends once in a while. Ask them what are you grateful for. Do it with your family, or you can just do it with yourself. Honestly, it's okay. Yeah, so that is one thing that I learned this year. Be grateful. It does wonders. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh, this one. Okay, sometimes they can't handle you at your worst, and that's okay. You can, and that makes you stronger. So I saw this one a bit recently. Like it was like that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So there were moments at school when I was a mess, just because I don't know, maybe pressure, a lot. Like it was a difficult year because I was by myself, and like it was weird, and a lot of things that are weird happened. So sometimes I would see that the people around me can't handle me at my worst. You know what I mean? And it would break my heart an inch. Like I'm at my weakest, and like I'm depending on you to like help me, and you can't. But sometimes like it's not the people around you's job to like, you know, and I don't think I did it consciously, like I want you to help me, like make me feel better. No, I did not. Sometimes I was just, you know, saying what's in my heart and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I feel so vulnerable. Wow. So sometimes I'll just be saying like what's in my heart. Like I don't want to say venting, but I'll be like talking, because I don't do that a lot. So sometimes I'll be talking, and I could see that the people around me can't handle this side of me. So it would hurt me a bit, like, but I later realized that, but I have pulled myself out of every dark hole I've ever been in, and that makes me stronger. That makes me stronger, and it's absolutely fine. Like it's absolute, whether it's your friend, your partner, your mom, your dad, like sometimes they're not gonna not cater, that's a bad word. Sometimes they're not gonna be able to, you know, pull you out of it, you know, and it's okay. Like it's okay, they're human, right? But you can, and that makes you a very strong human being. You know what I mean? You are absolutely capable of bringing yourself out of darkness, and yeah, you and God, you can do great things, trust me. So yeah, the second one, which is kind of related, is that you're capable of doing hard things. Oh my god, you are capable of doing hard things. When I tell you this year was hard, I mean it. All the way from there are probably 4 exam seasons that we had. Isn't we have mid semesters, we have finals. So that's semester 1. I just finished my first round of exams and I am thrilled that I'm done. I don't feel burnt out. I don't feel sick. I feel okay. Just feel tired and I just feel like I need to clean up my space now that I'm finished. That I don't have a lot of commitments. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend, hopefully. I'm doing my hair tomorrow, I'm not doing it today. And then Saturday there's a birthday celebration. And then for my roommate. And then Sunday I'll probably just go to church and rest. Because we have never done that over here. So yeah. And then semester 2 you had mid-semesters and you had finals. When I tell you, babe, I have literally been having a panic attack. But a lot has changed. Because now I can help myself through it. I know how to handle myself through it. I know exactly what to do. I just have to breathe. I just have to breathe and breathe. Babe! Oof. Unless we're supposed to change our molar mass to kg per mole. If we use kg per mole. What's that? Anyway. Yeah. So something's very wrong. But anyway, exam season is when you realize that medical school is hard. Is when you realize that, like, it's when like a part of you just dies. I feel like that's for every course though. Like, exam season is when you're like, I don't know what I signed up for. Like, I'm actually gonna try talking to the camera while cleaning up. Do you know what's funny? I was literally undressed in my bed about to take a nap, and then we get a text that some of our papers are ready and we gotta go pick them up. So I had to get dressed and like go back, like, and go get them. So at this point, I might as well just sleep in scrubs because anytime you're just trying to get rest, something pops up and you gotta do something. So yeah, I guess there's no rest for the weekend. I'm not okay. Is this my life? Is this my life, babe? Because what the hell? Like, I feel like I'm gonna have clips. Yes, I do have clips. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't delete them. I'm writing my first exam today. I feel like I'm gonna puke. Feel sick. I feel ill. I'm nervous. But we're gonna be alright. We're gonna be okay. Yeah. So my semester 1 mid-semesters, like, those were my first exams at my uni, and when I finished, when I tell you, I was like, wow, I feel like I just had a baby. I don't know what it feels like to have a baby, but I just feel like I had a baby. You know, it was like the pressure just released off of you. And then the finals, after the finals, I won't lie to you, I was sick, I was ill. I think I have a clip talking about how ill I was. Like, this now because I'm not gonna have time again to talk to the camera. But we've written 2 theory papers now, and I think the last time I probably talked to the camera was after we finished our practical. And after that we did have a semester, not semester break, we did have like a study break. Oh my god, I have a pimple and I can't stop looking at it. And we did have a study break, and we had like a whole week where we're just studying. And I feel like I have neglected every part of my health in this exam season, and now I have a lineup of doctors waiting to see me when I get back home, which is a conversation for another day. But I'm excited to get this done and over with. I'm really excited, and I felt like I need to go see 3 different kind of doctors. Like, there were like several aspects of my health that I had neglected, and I needed to go see a doctor, and I did. You know what I mean? I did, because it was bad. And it wasn't like intentional for me to neglect my health. It's just that you get so busy and so in the zone. You're like, I can't see anything else but this, tunnel vision, right? But that was semester 1, and I learned my lesson. So semester 2, I did it in such a way that I wasn't sick. You know, I did my mid semesters. I felt good, felt happy. You know what I mean? Like, and then I did my finals as well, which I just wrote this month, and I didn't feel burnt out. Like I wasn't a fraction of myself afterwards, which is not something that you like, babe. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Like, I just saw that I'm capable of hard things, because that was by far the hardest times. You know what I mean? One of the hard times. Like, it's like, if you can get through that, you can survive anything else that's thrown at you. Do you know what I mean? And then there were other out of school activities as well that showed me that I am capable of hard things. We had a project in biology, and this project we had around 2 weeks to do it. So the way that I am is that when we're given something to do, my team and I will like plan who's doing what. But this project was kind of different. My team and I couldn't delegate tasks like that. You know what I mean? So what we had to do is we had to create timelines of like, by this time we should be done with this, by this time we should be done with this, by this time we should be done with this. So we did that, and for some reason, I think we're writing tests as well. So for some reason, we kind of felt a little bit behind. Not by far, because I wouldn't allow that. Not by far. So when we slacked like that, I remember it being a Sunday. I was coming from church, and I was on a call with someone on my team, and she was telling me that I haven't started. I am not done. Meaning we are not done. Right? So I remember in that moment, like, I have two options. I can freak out, I can yell, I can do a lot of things, or I can get the work done. I can get the work done. So obviously I had to choose. Is it the latter or the former? English. I had to get the work done. So we started, because we had to, like, it was like a project, as in like you had to like make the a card box and like do stuff. So I had to go look for a card box, and the following day, mind you, this is a Sunday, Monday 2 p.m. we have to be presenting. Everything has to be done, and we are having lessons as well. So it's not like from the morning to 2 I'm free. No, babe, I'm not free. Nobody is free. My entire team has lessons. So I am like, wow. So what happened was, I think our classes ended 12. So from 12 to 2 p.m. we had to make sure that we get this project done. When I tell you, my friend and I, bless her soul, Philippa, we worked on that thing, and we made sure that everything is like done. And I remember just telling another person on my team that, like, you know, I've never been so unprepared for a presentation, because I am that girl. Like, if I am presenting, like, I've gone through it like 10 times, like over 10 times, like, I know what's gonna happen. Like, I have a structure. I know when I'm gonna breathe during the presentation. You know, like, I'm just like detail orientated like that. So especially when it comes to like presentations. So I remember telling him, like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't want to lie to you. And I was an opener. I'm not prepared for this. So it is almost 5 minutes to 2 p.m. and I call some guy in my team, and I'm like, we're good to go. We're ready. Come and pick up the thingy. So, like, there were some things that were missing also on that project. Like, I remember we had to paste some thingies in the lab. On the lab. So it was crazy. So I called him and I was like, oh, we're good to go. Come and pick it up. He's like, I bet, I'm on my way. So he picks it up, goes to the lab. We go to the lab. My whole team's there. And it's time to present. babe. Was I not nervous? Was I not shaking? But you know, I'm not gonna say names. But someone in my team won best presenter in the whole class. So yeah, I'm not gonna say names, but man, and it was crazy because I remember being in the bathroom right before I called that guy to come and pick up the project. I remember tying my hair up because in the lab you gotta tie your hair. I remember tying my hair up and being like, God, now it's time for you to, there's no way I'm doing this without you. Like, I don't know what I said, but I said something along those lines. I was like, I'm not doing this without you. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, we did well. And that's on best presenter. And I remember the demonstrator being like, she was marking aesthetics for the project, and there was a prize for the most aesthetic project. And I remember her being like, you know, if I wasn't marking aesthetics and I was giving presents for the best scientific project, your team would win. Because in science is what we look for. We look for simple details and just minimal art. And I was like, so yeah, that was a win for my team. And I love my team. Like, if you follow my Instagram, you know that I'm always ranting about these guys. Like, I love them. And when I am in a team, I just always make sure that I have different kinds of people, and it's always very intentional what I do with my team. Like, it's a very, very, very intentional. Like, it's not a mistake. I have like my devil's advocate and I have my devil's avocado. I have like this person that's always gonna look at things in a different lens than everybody else. So this person is very important because they help us see our blinds. They help us in our blind spots. Like, as a team, you're always gonna miss something, but if you have this person will just help you see it all the time. And then I have this person that is pays attention to detail. You know what I mean? They pay attention to detail and they just see things, like they see it. And then I have my perfectionist. You know, I have my perfectionist. My perfectionist will make sure that we're not handing in our work until it is perfect. And then I just have this person that's like very good at this certain thing. And when I'm making my team also, that's just one thing that I look for. Like, I'm like, I want people that are specific, you know what I mean, that are specific. I don't juggle with it, and it's probably a bad thing or whatever, but I don't juggle with it. If I know that Kaho is good at this thing, I know that I'm always gonna put Kaho here because I want to capitalize on Kaho, you know what I mean. I don't want to put Kaho in a position whereby she is now, you know, fumbling in a place where she isn't supposed to be because it isn't her thing, you know what I mean. So yeah, so like, yeah, I'm very particular about teamwork and my team, but I love them and we did well. And then my second case scenario was the culture day. Babe, culture day was incredible on many levels. We had fun. I had fun, and of course I was representing Team Botswana, and it was I think the first time participating in a school event to that degree, and I had so much fun. So what happened with Culture Day is that I think it was announced 2 weeks before. That's when I got to know about it. That's when I knew it was happening, but then I didn't know that Team Botswana was going to participate. So I had always thought, oh, I'm going as an attending. Like, I'm not an attending. As an attendee. Nah, I'm attending. So that's what I always thought. Like, I'm just going to go and attend. I'm not participating or anything like that. And then a week before, I get texted by my friend like, hey, do you want to represent Botswana in the Culture Day? I was like, yeah, absolutely. I do not mind. I would love that. You know what I mean? So from there, it was a case of like, okay, exactly what is Team Botswana doing? You know what I mean? It was like, all right, guys, we need to talk about what it is we're doing. So for a very big amount of time, there was no communication in the group. There was no communication as to who's who, what's happening, what are we doing, who's our representative, and all of that. So a form came out about representatives, and I signed up. I signed up to be a representative. So I think 2 days passed and I didn't hear back from the committee. And I was like, okay, that's a bit weird, but so okay, so fast forward, a lot of things happened in between that I don't even think I should talk about, but it was finalized that I am a rep alongside another beautiful lady that I got to meet because of this. So we were reps together, and being reps meant that we had to organize our team, meaning the Botswana in school. Being reps meant that we had to organize an act, something that Team Botswana was going to do, as well as cultural food. Yeah, so I remember it being, what was it? The event was on a Saturday. Friday, babe, we were nowhere. I remember we were at rehearsals. Eswatini was rehearsing. I hope so. Just. Yeah, it's the best. Namibia was rehearsing. Zambia was rehearsing. And Team Botswana still didn't have an act. We did not have an act. Babe, when I tell you I was freaking out, I was like, you know, it was like internal freaking out. It was like, so what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like 6 p.m. at rehearsals and I don't have an act with my team. And then we have to go cook the cultural food because that part we are kind of sorted. We have cultural food. So you go cook the cultural food, and while we're cooking, like, we have to really talk about our act. What are we going to do tomorrow? You know what I mean? Event is like 10, I think 9 a.m. the following day. I remember it being 10 o'clock. Still didn't have an act. 1 a.m. babe. Still didn't have an act. I think we finalized our thingy like around 3 a.m. in the morning. Which is kind of crazy because 9 we had to be on stage performing. It was crazy. But irregardless to say, I had so much fun. Those few hours, like, within the panicking, the stress, and whatever, like, I had so much fun. At the end of the day, my team pulled through and it was the best thing ever. So we had specifically asked the coordinators to put us last just because we were a bit unprepared as compared to the other countries, and they understood. They saw that, you know, we hadn't sorted our stuff except the last day, so they agreed to put us last. And when I tell you, babe, we shut the show down. We shut the show down. It was so amazing, and it's moments like that that shows me that, you know what I mean, like, I am so capable of doing hard things. Like, yes, of course, with other people and with a joint team and whatever, like, anything can happen. Like, you can do hard things. Oh my gosh, my laptop shut down. So yeah, the culture day was my personal highlight for this semester. The other one is that this is the what 1 2 3 4 5 6. The sixth one is that being straightforward, my baby. Being straightforward, sana, is gonna save you a lot of time and energy. So when I was a kid, I was at least that's what I thought. I thought I was like a bit of a people pleaser. But you know, like I had like different personalities for different people. That kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah. But I think I have to make a disclaimer. My different personalities for different people is just me basically matching your vibe, right? I'm not like two different people. Nah, my integrity, my character, my values, my everything is all intact, but I will match your vibe, right? So I just thought I was a bit of a people pleaser in the sense that I couldn't be straightforward. So you would ask me, what do you want? I'm like, what do you want? You know, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, but you get the vibe. So, this year, I was on my own. Of course, I was in a faraway place. Mom and dad did not hear to cover my ass when I do something crazy. So I had to be straightforward about a lot of things, you know, about whether it be in academics, whether it be in teamwork, whether it be in relationships and dating and whatever. Like, I had to be straightforward because provided anything goes wrong, I have to fix it. I have to very much fix it. You know, like stuff like being very honest about the type of person that you are. It saves you time, baby. It saves you so much time. You're like preventing disasters from happening. You know, I'll give a very simple example. Some guy stopped me one time. I was going to study. Some guy stopped me and asked me for my number. And I was very honest in the fact that, you know what, I can give you my number, but I'm not going to reply. I don't talk to people on the phone like that. You know what I mean? So he took a step back, he looked at me, and he's like, okay. And he went. And he didn't even take my number. And doing that shows you that I saved him the time. And I like, he saved his time, and I saved myself time as well. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is confused. Everybody gets to move on. Everybody gets to be happy. You know what I mean? Stuff like, if you're living with people, be like, I am the kind of person that doesn't want this or that wants this. It saves you time. It saves you energy. You know what I mean? People know how not to make you mad. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I'm very happy. I'm a straightforward person. Like, I'm very happy. It's a habit that I made a part of me. Like, I'm so happy. Like, even recently, like, almost found myself in a ditch. But because I was like, yo, this is how it is. Like, it goes for everything. In friendships, in family relations. Like, be honest about what you want. Say what you want. Kuluma, man. Talk. Huh? You know what I mean? So, yeah. It's I love it. 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 Sometimes I take it a bit too far and like people are like terrified of me, but then again, it's okay. Like, I don't want to be bullshit on, if that's okay. So yeah. And then okay, so yeah, that's on being straightforward and that. And then the second to last one that I have is hold on to the people that really see you. So I feel like moving away from home, it's always like a tricky situation to navigate between making new friends and making the place where you're moving to home and just like keeping intact with your friends back home and making sure that it still feels like home when you go back, like if that makes sense, because you are going to spend a significant amount of time there away from home. And those people are going to see your growth and your development more than the people at home. The people at home are just going to see you coming home and all changed and all growth. They didn't see what happened in between that growing part. So like, it's always like a bit of a weird thing to navigate between creating home there and making sure that this still in some way feels like home. So yeah, the thing that I learned is just that you want to hold on to the people that feel like home. You want to hold on to the people that still see you. You know what I mean? And like my friends, like my best friends back here home, and like I had to find a way to communicate with them, like just to make sure that we're still in contact. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to completely like ignore their existence when you're in school, because I need them. Because if I'm going through a hard time, my friends here don't know me as much as they do. Do you know what I mean? And you know, it's a weird thing. Like even saying it now, like it's a bit hard to make the point come across. But hold on to the people that really see you. Hold on to the people you know you. Sometimes the people that know you are the ones at school, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, I know that it's always my friends back home. It's always mom and dad. It's always my sisters. Do you know what I mean? So you wanna find a way to hold on to them. For me, it's simple. Like I just be like, hi. I was just saying hi. I hope you're good. You know what I mean? Like a quick call, a quick text doesn't hurt and whatever. So that's one thing that I learned. Like to keep in contact with my family. I call my family my team because, yeah, yeah. So yeah, hold on to them and you will be okay. Then the last one that I have is nobody is healthy until you are. Medical school is the pit in such a way that there's so much work to do. And I'm only pre-med, by the way. I just graduated pre-med. Thank God. Just graduated pre-med and the work was murdering me. So nothing has changed. If you've watched my previous videos, I don't pull all-nighters just because it's not good for my health. Other students do it and they're absolutely fine. But for me, it just doesn't work. And yeah, I had to make sure that I'm sleeping like 7, 8. If things have gone really bad and then it's 6 or 5 hours, I had to make sure I'm eating around 3 meals. If really bad, and then 2, I had to make sure that I am, you know, journaling. I am, you know, just doing things that keep me, my wellness, like keeping well. So I just learned that if I am healthy, if I am in my top state, like I do so well socially, academically. When I tell you my academic performance has skyrocketed ever since I started prioritizing my sleep, baby, you would never believe it. I would never believe it. Like 14-year-old me would be shocked. Like, you're telling me I should sleep and I can still get an A+? Are you like serious? Yeah, it all boils down in the end to your studying methods and how well you've understood the content and asking for help from your friends and your teachers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, nobody is gonna be healthy until I am. You know what I mean? Like my health is more important than my academics. A healthy C is so much better than an unhealthy A star or an A+. You know what I mean? And that's what has worked for me, and that's what I learned this past year. So it is a bit weird navigating that in medical school because you get so much pressure from your lecturers telling you to work hard, to not sleep, and your friends also, they're telling you that we're working hard, we're not sleeping, and you're like, I slept. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, but like at the end, like I said, you gotta mind yours and focus on yours and all of that, so then you'll be fine. So yeah, I don't know if this worked how I wanted for it to work, but those are the things that I learned in 2023. Overall, 2023 was the year I got to get out of my shell. I did so many cool things just because I went outside my shell. I went to a club. It wasn't a club, it was a club restaurant, but I went to a club and I put out 2 stories on Inked. Hello! I moved to a different city. I made friends. I fell in love with different types of art. I saw different types of art. I finally went on an art gallery date, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful year. Difficult but beautiful. And my main lesson would be, don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone in any way and in every way, and you will not regret it. You will not regret it. So yeah, I will see you later, guys. Mwah.